A great evening once again to you, Queens. Let's get to the second part of our third session of our masterclass. The heat is on. What a week it has been. The heat is on right now. The race is on. The race to the top for the energy funds. We are feeling it right now. Most of our queens, they felt the heat and they ran away. Yeah, we are now in the game. We said we wanted to be in the top 20. Here we are. The heat is on, and there's so much that we're going to cover today, but we're going to cover it in such a very little time because we are going to get straight to the point in terms of what it is that is needed for you to stay on the race. Otherwise, yes, I admit so much has happened in this week. Having to postpone twice, what a fight it has been. And one of our dear queens said this time, basically, it was needed to happen because it needed to shake everybody out of their skin so that it exposes who really are on this race and who are fit for this race. So if you stay on, it will say how fit you are and how ready you are to be in this race. Now, before we start anything, I want us to address the fears and the lack of faith, lack of confidence, lack of self-esteem. This is what is going to hold you back from reaching the top 20. uh, this week, basically of all the weeks, this week has shown us how people can really have fears at the roar of a lion. People start to run away. Lions will roar to scare you away from your destiny, to scare you away from your dream. Now, your current dream is the one of being in the top 20. So if we run when the lion roars, we are not going to get to any destination. So we need to address this fear. We need to move away from fear. Leaders, true leaders, great leaders are fearless. They face danger in the face. They don't run away. They die in the battle. And that is what this week has taught us as we get into the very first critical session, which is today, of the 10 sessions that are left. So, yes, we are really going to feel the heat because now we're going to be hitting the obstacles that will be a hurdle for all of you queens to your growth. Before you run away, you need to think of what it is that is at stake that you are leaving behind and that you are losing in the future. You need to think of the generations. You need to think of your children. If you give up now, what hope do you have for them for the future? Because here we're building a legacy, we're building a future, we're building the hope of our children, of our generations, of our legacies. There is no way we are going to give up. So we need to rule fear out of the equation in what we're going to be doing if we want to be part of the top 20. There's one thing I really want us to understand. The first fear that we have is the fear of the truth. We fear the truth. The truth stings us and makes us uncomfortable. As a leader, you need to have your guts on. You need to face your truth as raw as it is. You must never be apologetic or feel ashamed in admitting defeat because that is called integrity. And that is the kind of leader that we are looking for. Because what I have noticed is some of our queens, they left and they ran away because they feared the truth that I came up with. As a leader, when you have a team that works with you, you need to be open, you need to be transparent, you need to be truthful about the events because in that way you are gaining trust, you are gaining faith from the people that you work with, and that transparency, it actually shows some part of humility in you, that you are humble enough to see your own shortfalls, and you are humble enough to come and bring the problem on the table and have your team tackle it with you. So we must never be afraid to speak our truth, because that is what has destroyed most organizations today. We hide the truth because we want to be seen as the perfect leaders. There is no perfect leader. Leaders make mistakes. Leaders face all these obstacles, and the only way to go through is to work with them and work through them as a team. So that is what we need to take within this session, that we must be able to face our fears and never run away from them, and never be ashamed to tell our truths. That's the first lesson today. And Queens, I want to tell you something. All what I have today, all what I have achieved today was not brought to me on a silver platter. I was never born a leader. I hear people saying you're a born leader. Well, I was never born a great leader. I was trained to be a great leader, and I was not trained in school to be that great leader. I was trained by life itself. I was trained by all the obstacles I had to go through and overcome. I was trained by all the failures that I had to fall into and rise. That is what made me a great leader. I was not born fearless, but you have to practice to be fearless. For you to not for you to be fearless, you need to know what's at stake, and you need to know what is it that you want, your vision, your goal, and how you get to that goal. And you must not let anything deter you from reaching that goal. And that is what is going to make you fearless. To be a great leader, you have to be willing, to overcome a lot of things. But now, before we go into the characteristics of a great leader, I just want us to recap on what we did last week. In our previous session, we covered energy opportunity, because now I want you to understand why we're here and where we are from. So we covered the energy opportunities. What energy opportunities are there? We talked about the solar powered data center. We talked about the solar farm. We talked about the water harvesting technologies that are using solar. We talked about all those kind of opportunities, which have come to an amount of about 2.4 billion rand. And that amount is an amount that has, in principle, been approved. We are only short of submitting the PPA, and we are good to go. So those projects, those opportunities, we talked about and put them aside. And we also talked about the energy economy, what an energy economy is, and how can we start building our energy economy so that we can have a very intact um, ecosystems as we grow. So we talked about the value of the energy, and the energy being the next currency. And we also talked about how energy is at the integral of everything. It's at the center of every industry, and how that advantage can help us build a great and impactful economy. We also talked about the port of entries that we need to build and protect, so that we are able to build this energy economy that we want. And part of the port of entries were our communication platforms, like your social platforms, social media platforms. We talked about our very own Rollit that works like Facebook. We talked about our very own Bioscope that works like YouTube. And quite recently, actually, this week, we launched yet another platform, which is called Rollimate, that works like Zoom. We are still testing it up, and it might be having a little bit of fixes that it needs, but at least it's a great start. Very beautiful, clean, and very beautiful quality. So those are our port of entries, digital port of entries, that we need to build together and protect. We need to own up to them. And when we build these, you are not building them for their companies, you are building them for yourself, because after these 3 months, on the 31st of June, you will be one of the shareholders. You will be sitting in the shareholders' meetings, annual general meetings every year. You will be putting in your vote in terms of making decisions. You will be part of these. So you're not building these for Utami. You're not building these for Rolet, or you're not building this for anybody else. You are building it for yourself. So if you are building the networks of people that are coming in and joining in, you are building a network and you are building a business for yourself. So that we need to put in our minds as we move forward, so that whatever assignments we're being given, we are being trained to be the leaders of our own destinies, to be the leaders of our own businesses. And this is what we are. What we are doing, or what I am doing basically, is to say, here are the platforms for all of us. Let us share in them. Let us build them together. So now we are basically working as a team of shareholders. We are partners. And that's what you need to be telling yourself from this point moving forward, because part of the top 20 means that you are a partner, you are a shareholder, you have a say in the building of this business. So if you are to commit, whether financially or with your energy or with your sweat, it means you are committing to your very own thing. And never let anybody tell you otherwise or tell you negative about your journey, this particular journey. So we have covered that. And I think we are very clear on our port of entries. What are our port of entries and how we can protect those port of entries? Because if we do not protect them, then we are letting people come in and out as they please. And we can never allow that to happen, not any other time. So we covered also the growth strategies on how we need to grow together and how we need to develop, that kind of unity that you don't find anywhere else. We need to have growth strategies that help us build sustainable economy and sustainable businesses. So for that, you need to be the greatest leader you can be. You need to be trained to do that. And now I want us to tackle on what is really needed to be a great leader. Now you need to ask yourself, are you the right leader to be in this top 20 team? Are you the right leader to be in this race to the top leaders that will be building the entire continent? We need to ask ourselves, each one of us. So, and this session is all about that, because after this session, that's where you need to decide if you're cut out for this or not, so that you don't waste your time in moving forward in something that you know or you feel that you are not and you cannot be. Uh, so we are going to be very blunt in this session. We are going to call a spade, because for you to grow, you need to know exactly where you need to be firm with yourself. And now, but what does it take to be a great leader? And what does it take for you to be that leader that will reach the top 20 lane? To be a great leader, it needs speed. That's number one. You need to act with speed. If there is an opportunity right there at your footstep, you need to be able to say, I am taking this opportunity now, not tomorrow, but I'm taking it now, right now. So you need speed, you need agility, you need to be able to think and act on your feet swiftly now. There's no time, especially now in the times of technology, because by the time you think of something, someone else is already doing it. That's how fast technology can be. So you need agility to be able to stand as one of the greatest leaders that this continent needs. You need commitment. You need to commit to your vision, to your dream. You need to commit to your passion. You need to commit to the opportunities. And commitment goes in different ways. It can be a give and get or take. And to commit, you give before you take. So you need to be able to ask yourself, what is it that I am giving into this cause? Because whatever it is that you are taking is just a result of what you have given out. So you need to commit. You can commit with your financial resources, you can commit with your time, you can commit with your emotions, you can commit with who you are, the whole of you. Because right now we have been undergoing enormous challenges, and this is where your quality of commitment had to show up. And I have seen in so many of you the level of commitment you have in this journey. It's amazing, Queens. I want to really thank you for that and commend you for that kind of commitment. It's beautiful. And now the next quality is you need flexibility. This we cannot emphasize it enough. You need to be flexible, extremely flexible, if you are to be a great leader. There's once this writer who once said, "It's only a fool that it's only a fool that does not change his mind." So when you see that something does not go according to the direction you really envisage it to go, be flexible enough to divert. Go create a path and build that path and use it. It's just like a river stream. You don't have to stop the river from flowing. If you want to divert the water, you can just open up another stream so that you divert the water to follow that stream. So this is exactly where you need flexibility. Sometimes you get disappointments as you go, and those kind of disappointments kind of shape you to be the leader that you need to be, and it forces you to change your direction. So you need to be flexible. If now you were told that this is supposed to go this way, and now all of a sudden it comes and changes, you need to be flexible enough to move with the time. Otherwise you're going to be left behind, and we don't need those kind of leaders in the top 20. We need leaders who are flexible, who are able to think on their feet and act as fast as they can, who will not be scared away by the roars of the lion. Lastly, you need humility. As a great leader, you need to be humble enough to acknowledge your own flaws, your own weaknesses, your own shortfalls. You need to be humble enough to be able to go to people and say, "You know what, I messed up here." Your team. And your team need to know that you are human, you're imperfect, you make mistakes, and if ever those mistakes need to be fixed, they will need a team. So for you to be able to rise, you need all these qualities, and these are the qualities we want to see in the team that is racing towards the top 20. And these are the qualities that we look for every time we have a challenge, every time we have anything that needs you to change who you are on how you do things. We are looking at you. And those who are running away, we are looking. And those who are staying, we are looking, because we need to choose the right type of leaders that will represent in the top 20. So, yes, now we need to understand that as a leader, you need to be willing to bleed. You cannot run away from that. You need to be willing to feel pain. You need to be willing to be insulted, to be disregarded, to be disappointed, to be disrespected. You need to be willing to go through all of that, because, you know, when you feel pain of losing it all and finding yourself, you grow into maturity, you grow into a better person, and to be a greater leader. So you need to be able, or you need to be willing to go through all of these things. You will be disregarded and disrespected by children younger than you who think they have made it. They will look at you and they think, and they say, "Who do you think you are? What is it that you can do? What have you done in the past?" They see all your failures, they judge you by your failures. As a leader, you put a raincoat on that, and make sure that everything just it goes past that raincoat. You really need to work yourself through this and be able to accept not defeat, but accept that you can fail. you know. And also, if you are still comfortable in your uncomfortable corners, then you need to ask yourself, are you the greatest leader you need to be, or do you have what it takes to be in this journey, right now? Because this is something, we all get comfortable in our uncomfortable corners, right? uh, and it's actually very hard, because we get comfortable in being poor, in being hungry, in being not having anything. It becomes, for us, it becomes okay to just be okay, and it's not okay to just be okay. We need to get that. It's not okay to be comfortable with our or in our uncomfortable corners. If you're still okay with just being okay, then you will never move from the victim mentality, because every time there's an opportunity that comes, then you will say, oh, I don't have money, I don't know where I'm going to have money. Don't feel pity for yourself. Leaders don't get comfortable in selling by the side of the road when someone says to them, I will give you shares. You know, I come to you, you are selling by the side of the road. And then I say, I will give you company shares, and I will give you a nice project that will cover you for the next 20 years. I will even give you a little money, like cash, some extra cash that you can use here and there. So I'm coming to you, you are selling fruit by the side of the road, and I'm saying, I'm giving you all these things. I'm giving you company shares, I'm giving you a project for 20 years, I'm giving you a little extra cash, and I'm going to train you and coach you and mentor you into a great leader. And what do you do? But now I ask a question. I said, I'm going to do all these things for you in exchange for a very little commitment. I need one little commitment from you. A great leader, what do you think a great leader will do in this instance? A great leader will jump, leave the fruit by the side of the road, and run for these opportunities, and listen and hear what it is that he needs to do, what kind of commitment that he needs to do. A little commitment is all that is needed to take advantage of an opportunity that is brought to you. So the only thing I need from you right now is a commitment, and that you will multiply what I give to you and go and empower others with the same opportunities. A great leader will never sit and say, but I do not have money, but I don't know how I will be able to commit, I don't have the means. That is not a great leader. A great leader does not make excuses. A great leader opens the way when there seems to be none. They open the way. They stop at nothing to seize the opportunity. And let me tell you something about myself. Yeah, this picture that you see here, this is June 2017. This is a true story that I'm going to be telling you right now. The year was 2017. It was 7 years after I lost my job at Sanby in Cape Town. And here I had lost all my savings, I had lost my assets, I'd lost my cars, my children, I had lost everything in 2017 June. And what you see right here, that plate, that two slices of bread, that dish there, that was my daily meal. I was basically chased away from home to the streets because I was useless. That was 2017. Because I was useless, I was mad, because I suffered from severe depression at the time. I was a good for nothing mother. I was even labeled a brilliant for nothing mad woman. That's what you go through, as a person when you're a great leader. Because now, the minute you are down from whatever it is that you had, people take advantage and start laughing at you, start making fun of you, and start thinking that you really do not have the brains. And now, to rise from this point, to be where I am, it took me such great strength to be able to do that. My children were taken away from me, and I was threatened of police and social workers if I should attempt to take my children. So 2017 for me was extremely hard. It was in June here and it was extremely cold. So when I was chased away from home after losing everything I'd ever worked for, I was hiding in this house where you see this bread. This house, it was a deserted house guarded by a security guard. So he would share with me those two slices of bread you see there with the soup or maybe sweet water. And there were days I would go without eating food. So I was sleeping on cardboards. There you see there, the corner. Those are cardboards, and I would put a refuse black bag on top so that at least I don't sleep on the floor. And while I was in that state, I I heard of this opportunity. There was a soft drink manufacturing company in Berlin. Those who are in East London will know Berlin. There was a shop that was manufacturing soft drinks that was being sold. And I did not have the money, as you can imagine, and I really wanted that opportunity. So, what I did is I went to that manufacturing factory and I asked for some free samples. I used those free samples in starting my own business, and those free samples of that fruit juice is what has given birth to Quench. And today we are able to have Quench, which is a resealable can that is going to be launched very soon. This idea came at a time when I was down, came at a time when I was seen as a mad woman because I suffered from depression. I lost my job because I was incapacitated. I could not work any longer. And I lost all my savings as I was trying to make a living. So now having to be able to have a mind to think of such an idea in that state of mind and state it takes a leader to be able to pull through that. So this is what brought me out of that life. I did not sit there and feel pity and sorry for myself, but I did something that was going to take me out of that position. So leaders never feel sorry for themselves. They never make their situation an excuse. You use your situation where you are to take you to the next level because right there, nobody believed that from where I was, I could be able to come up with something like this. But because I was in my mind, I knew my destiny, I knew what I wanted, and I knew I was going to make every little thing to get what I want. I did not complain. I did not make an excuse that I did not have money. I did not have income. I've lost it all. I've lost my cars. My cars. I lost a house for my children. I lost a home. I lost it all. And I started from scratch, if you know how it is to start from scratch. So those are the kind of leaders that we need. Now, let's just quickly recap on what we did talk about in our first session. Remember, we talked about the benefits that you will get if you're in the top 20. Now, today, I want us to talk about a surprise for those who managed to upgrade yesterday when I came up with that kind of a request. People did not really ask me, in the midst of all those challenges, in the midst of all those the confusion that we had yesterday, these 8 women did not ask questions. They went, it was hardly an hour or two after I had requested on the group. They went and they upgraded, not with 500, but with the entire 1,500 Rand. Now, these women deserve to be in the top 20. And now, what do you get in the top 20? You get 1.2 million cash. The project worth 20 million, the solar project, you get an investment bonus. You get the shares as well, 20 shares in Weep Invest. And there is a surprise now. We have a token voucher for everybody who upgraded yesterday. And we will put those 8 women in the top 20. That is now an interim arrangement. But should they fall short, then they will fall into top 400. But right now, we are putting them on the list of the top 20. And today, we will be giving them the voucher so that they could go and invest today on the Triber platform. So they will be getting a voucher of 200,000 Rand each, everybody who upgraded yesterday, together with those who came and made an apology and requested that they be given until the end of June. All of those will be getting the 200,000 Rand vouchers. So I will go through with you on how you redeem the voucher and how you start investing. So the sooner you invest with the vouchers, the better. So now these vouchers will mature after 90 days or after 3 months. And on maturity, you will be able to get the 260,000 Rand. So it will depend. You will calculate 90 days from the date when you invest. But we will go through in terms of how you redeem the vouchers. So the voucher is 200,000, and now you made a commitment, which was a great sign of your great leadership, to be flexible, to commit, and to act with speed. You upgraded with 1,500, and now that 1,500 is going to give you 21.5 million rands, because now other people will have to pay 200,000 on the platform to invest in that package, but you are given the voucher. So I will be sending this voucher to every one of you in your email addresses. I've got your email addresses. So it's a 200,000 Rand voucher that you will go and invest with on Triber platform. Remember the top 400. The top 400, you also upgrade with your 1,500, but you stand to get 675,000 Rand from all these benefits on your right. And we go to the top 100. Top 100, you also invest 1,500 and you get to benefit 141,500 Rand. Everything that you see on your right, the cash, the project, the investment, and the shares. And okay, let me just go back to this slide. Now, under normal circumstances, now the top 400 will be given a voucher of 100,000. Once you reach, the top 400, you will be given, once you do all the assignments for the top 400, you will be given a voucher of 100,000 to go and invest. And also for the top 100, once you reach your assignments for the top 100, you will be given a voucher of 3,500 to go and invest in Triber. How do you redeem these vouchers? You will have to go and register on Triber. You have to choose your package. You need to load your wallet, and then after loading your wallet, it will say upload your proof of payment. You will upload your voucher, and the system will check the voucher and approve it for you. And then after that, you can go and invest in your package and wait for 90 days for your package to mature. So basically, we will go through all how Triber works, but right now I'm just giving you what is it that you should expect, and what are the assignments, what is the assignment that will be given through to you. Now here are the assignments for you to be able to go to the top 20. What is expected from you? What is it that you need to do? Let us cover that now. Where is the slide? Okay, I don't know what's going on now. All right, so this is what you need to do. The assignments and the timelines, we will break it down for you in the next slide. Now you need to listen very carefully, because now this is what is going to get you to the top 20, to the top 400, and to the top 100. Now the race is on and the heat is on. What you need to do is, first you need to build a team of 20 leaders. Like I have done with you, I have built this team. So now you need to multiply what I am doing and go and build your team of 20 people. I am building my own of top 20. and you are going to go and build your own of 20 people. So you're going to go and invite people to come and invest in Triba and be part of this masterclass, and so that we can teach them how to multiply as well. I will get into the benefits of doing that. What is it that you're going to gain by doing that? And now this team of 20 people, today is the 16th. So on the 28th of June, you need to have gathered your 20 people, and they need to have committed, like you have committed in upgrading for the pro package. So they need to upgrade for the pro package, and they need to commit. They need to attend the remaining master classes, and you will also be getting some commission from their packages, which is 10%. So if you bring in 20 people, you are getting 2,000 Rand. Already, the 1,500 you paid is back. So on the 28th, you might be getting back your 1,500 Rand plus 500 Rand extra, plus the 200,000 Rand that you will redeem as your investment voucher. I mean, isn't it beautiful to be here? Now, let's go to now the second assignment. Once you build that team of 20, help them to build their teams. So each one of the 20 must build a team of 10 people. So, which means now from the 20 that you have, by 10 in your team, you have 200 people. So, by the 12th of July, you must be having a team of 200 people, or 200 queens in your team. So, which means 20 leaders will go and build a team of 10 queens each, or 10 leaders each. And now that's level 1. Level 2, your 200 team, each one of them, they must be assisted to build a team of 10. So in that team of 10, you get 6.5% commission. And that is now when they start investing on Triba. The commission is when they start investing on Triba, not on the platform, which is now level 2. We will have to go through this so that you can understand again. So this level 3, you must reach level 3 by the 26th of July. The last level you need to reach is now when your 2,000 people, all those from level 1 and from level 2, they each build a team of 10, and you will get 3.5% from their investments. And now you should be having a team of 20,000 people by the 9th of August. For you to get to the top 20 by the 9th of August, you must have built all your levels. You must have helped all your leaders build their teams. You are not building it for them, but you are helping them. The only team you are building is the team of 20. And from that team of 20, you teach them to multiply themselves so that they each are able to go and build their own team. Now, this is the first assignment that you are going to receive. And I think we are going to end it here for today because I don't want to bombard you with all these information. And we are going to end it right here. And next week, when we meet, we need to be able to you need to be able to report in terms of how far you are. Now, what we're going to do is, with the team that you are going to build, we are going to invite them into the big group, which is the masterclass group, and they will have to start attending our masterclasses. They will have to go through the previous sessions, and so that they can catch up on what needs to be done. So basically, this is the end of our session today, and I hope we understand. And in the next few minutes remaining, I will be taking the question and answers if anybody has any question to ask me. Thank you, and thank you.